I am the neighbor of my good friend Ah Seng. I know Ah Seng very well because we grew up together. I have two sisters, Ah Lien and Ah Hui. I love them very much, but I am very sad now after hearing Ah Hui sharing story about our neighbor Ah Seng. Actually, my Agong was Ah Seng's Agong twin brother and we used to live together. One day, for some reasons, my Agong kicked Ah Seng's Agong out of the house. That is how we became neighbors. Ah Seng's Agong was a great man when he was young. He worked very hard to help Ah Seng's parents and his uncles and aunties to find jobs and start businesses. Ah Seng's parents and relatives were very successful and happy. I envy them as my Agong do not love my parents and relatives as much as Ah Seng's Agong loved Ah Seng's parents and relatives. Ah Seng is a very nice guy and worked very hard. Ah Seng loves his Agong and is always grateful. I do not understand why my sister Ah Hui is telling story about Ah Seng being a Sikoikia to everyone in Ah Seng's Agong's house. In the first place, Ah Hui got no rights to judge Ah Seng as she ran away from our house and went to our neighbor's house. Some more bring along Ah Di and Ah Gao with her. Ah Seng purely grumbled about how his Agong has changed. Last time, Ah Seng's Agong will go around to find the best lobang for his parents and relatives. At the same time, Ah Seng's Agong ran businesses to finance their home's expenses. Now Ah Seng's Agong outsourced or sold all his businesses to other people, taking money earned from Ah Seng and his siblings. Ah Seng's Agong used to contribute a lot to the family, taking a bit of the money earned to sustain his own living expenses. Now Ah Seng's Agong take from Ah Seng and his siblings all their hard-earned money and distribute to people like Ah Hui, Ah Di, Ah Gao, and Ah Shao and Gang, other neighbors' children. Ah Seng's Agong is taking so much money from Ah Seng and his siblings than any other Agong in the neighborhood who has bigger family. Do other people's Agongs take so much money from their next generations? I understand why Ah Seng grumbles so much lately as he is seeing his parents, uncles, and aunties working as cleaners, security guards, recycling business, etc. While seeing Ah Hui talked about how ungrateful Ah Seng is, how Ah Gao messing up their family's health issues, then housing matters, then transport matters. Moreover, Ah Di, Ah Gao and Ah Shao no need to do housework like all the boys in his family did. Some of Ah Seng's family have to give up the chance to study, while some of Ah Di, Ah Gao, Ah Hui, Ah Shao children's studies are sponsored by Agong. Some more Ah Seng's Agong lost so much money in the so-called investments. See me Lan Chia? A lot of the money comes from Ah Seng's family and relatives that Agongs promised to return them when they reach 55 years old. I urge Ah Di, Ah Gao, and Ah Hui's family members to come home solve our home problems if they are so good in solving problems. You guys go people's house take people's money and make our cost of living so high. Your Agong brought you up not to solve other people's Agong's problem and make our living expenses so high. And make our relatives thinking Ah Seng's family is the cause. Today, I overheard Ah Shao telling someone that Ah Seng's Agong is so stupid. Once Ah Shao earned enough, Ah Shao will go back home and live a good life. Ah Shao won't be staying at Ah Seng's Agong's house to be cleaners, security guard, recycling business, etc. Some of Ah Shao's relatives just send their children to Agong and receive free education. Then upon graduation, they leave Agong's house to other people's house. Stupid indeed. I think Ah Seng's Agong is getting old and senile. If I am Ah Seng, I will kick Agong out like how his Agongs bring in the neighbors. Unless Ah Seng's Agong starts listening to his own children.